Yeah.
So I'm looking at your release history and everything's gone back to like about 2001, which got me thinking that maybe you had gotten into recording and stuff, making music during COVID, during the first lockdown. Am I totally off there?
Yeah, so Donnie Darko came out in May or something 2021. Can't remember. And it had been done a year before that, which was when lockdown first started.
Yeah.
So I don't think lockdown forced me to make any more music than it already was, but it definitely um gave me time to actually focus on finishing it.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I feel like we're still feeling the shockwaves through the creative industry of all the shit that people got into. And Christ, I didn't get back into music. This is the whole reason I got back into music journalism. It's just been
I love that.
yeah,
100%. People are dropping like really long albums and a lot of them, you know. I feel like people used to drop albums every 4 years and now people are putting out an album every year, the last 3 years.
do you feel like and I don't know if this is symptomatic of, pardon me for using the term your generation, but
Mm.
I'm 37, so I grew up with, albums and record stores and what kind of stuff and that kind of stuff. And I feel like now there's a lot of with SoundCloud and everything, there's a push towards, I guess, moving away from albums and moving maybe towards singles and stuff like that. How do you feel about that?
I feel that that is on its way out, but I feel like it's definitely a thing. And I grew up on singles and playlists. But I know a lot of people listen to vinyl, and I think that's making people get back into albums and CDs as well. Like when I was first starting to choose my own music, I literally would only listen to my recently added playlist, which was usually every single song was by a different artist. So it was never anything um close to an album. And I still listen to music like that now, but I will actually sit down and listen to an album a lot more than I used to because of CDs. So it's physical media, I think, becoming cooler is actually getting people into albums because once you put a CD on in the car or whatever, if you just walk away, like you can't actually be bothered to skip songs sometimes. So you're
Mm.
forced to listen to the whole body of work, especially with vinyl. You're not going to pick up the needle and move it. So it's like forcing people to actually appreciate, oh, there was a transition there and whatever else. So I think physical media becoming like trendier in the last few years is changing that.
It, you would never have been able to convince me in about 2002 or wherever, when the internet was really starting to pick up that vinyl was ever going to come back. Holy shit, was I wrong.
Honestly, I don't even listen to vinyl. I personally don't get it.
Mm.
But I know that it's popular because um everyone's buying it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I do like if I really like an album, I'll buy it for the insert, but I
Mm.
don't do anything with the actual vinyl itself.
Yeah, I miss the artwork, man. I do a lot of graphic art and stuff, and some of the most influential things I ever saw from a design point of view was album artwork, like Nine Inch Nails and stuff like that. These amazing I don't know if you're into heavy music, but the album Iowa by Slipknot, the half of the booklet was printed on transparent paper. So it all fit
Yeah,
together, bruh, this was
I know.
amazing.
I love the aesthetic. Also, I like your t-shirt, your Deftones t-shirt.
Thank you. That you passed the test. I was wearing this and being like,
Yeah.
she
Do you know
knows.
the story behind the album cover?
I do indeed. And they were one of them, I don't know on which side, is actually photoshopped out of this because he didn't want
Yeah.
his wife knowing.
Yeah.
Uh,
Well, apparently the girl was pretty angry. They didn't even ask her. It's kind of shit, but
yeah, I
yeah,
mean, she feels better about it now. I know they caught up with her like 25 years later, and she's got like the gold record on the wall and stuff. She's like,
yeah.
whatever.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
It's a big photo.
I don't think she's close to pulling a you know, a Nevermind, the Nevermind baby lawsuit. So I think they're safe there. But actually,
Yeah.
speaking of this kind of aesthetic, the video, I was quite taken with the grungy aesthetic and the video for. I'm gonna fuck up the title here, but I'm just gonna call it Snakes.
I messed it up more than everyone else around me, so don't worry.
Damn you, Gen Z, and your weird song titles and everything's in lowercase. I'll tell
No,
you.
it's so fun though.
Fucking mind. Uh, but yeah, I'm really loving the fact. So you mostly self-shot that video?
Yeah, my friend Shina shot the bits where I've got the tie, and then my DJ Connor, who was touring with me with yours truly, he shot the bits in the hotel because that was actually where we were staying in Adelaide.
Hmm.
So the night we played a show in Adelaide with yours truly, we went back to the hotel after the show, and I was like, all right, we need to finish this tonight. It's due on Wednesday. And we just like smashed it out. But there is some smatterings of like vlog footage. Oh, I say vlog footage, I mean like footage of stuff that doesn't have me in it. And it's
Yeah.
and that's from when I went to America with my friend Charlotte, and I was mostly filming in Utah and LA. So you can kind of see the LAX sign in like a
Mm.
passing by shot. So I threw a few in there just to make it seem like I was you know, like a girl on the run in America or something. I don't know. I just wanted it to be a bit cool.
When did you go to the States?
I went to it was to see Joji. So it would have been in September.
Okay.
So yeah, he played a show. He was playing a few like shows across America, and we went to the show in Orem in Utah. And then we also like went to a few other places while we were over there, so that was fun.
So you
Went
flew
to
all
Seattle.
who, sorry?
We went to Seattle as well. Speaking of Nirvana.
Ah, nice, nice, nice.
Yeah.
Did you so you flew all the way to the US just to see an artist?
Yeah, well, initially we were gonna see Joji, and then we were gonna kind of like see what else we wanted to do when we were there.
Mm.
But we ended up booking a couple more shows. So like 3 weeks before we left, Charlotte was like, all right, we like this is happening, this is happening, this is happening. Let's book it now before it sells out. So we got tickets to Bikini Kill in Seattle,
Hmm.
and we got tickets to Harry Styles Madison Square Gardens, and we got tickets to Wicked on Broadway.
Nice.
So we just like blew all our money before we got there. But it was good.
How would you describe the States? What was it like?
Um, it was like a lot more humble than I thought it would be. Um, because I think I've lived in Sydney for a while now. I was a lot less taken aback by it than I would have been maybe a few years ago.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, like we were in New York for a bit, and it was a lot more supersized, but it was like just another city, you
Yeah.
know. But there was heaps of amazing buildings and like tourist attractions. Obviously, we lapped it all up, but um I think I have a soft spot for Utah and Seattle. Like those places were just so empty, and like we didn't talk to anyone while we were there. We just kind of did our own thing, and like Salt Lake City is so just like clean and empty. It's kind of like, I don't know what I would liken it to, but it's kind of like Canberra, I guess. It's just like so empty and like wealthy looking. And we went out to this bar that was like under the street, and there was no one on the street. And we went to this bar, and it was just all uni students. And we were like, ah, that's where all the people are.
Yeah, yeah.
But it was really nice.
I actually didn't know who Joji was but I was quite taken by the tattoo that's on your bicep, which I saw in the video, and I actually Googled the lyrics,
Oh yeah.
Neon Halls, and I was like, oh, Joji, all right.
Walls, neon walls. Yeah, it's my favorite song by him.
I like it.
Yeah.
Um, so obviously there's a theme of jealousy towards your exes in your new single. In what ways do you think you grew from these relationships? And I guess what kind of motivated you to go all Amy Shark on us and put it in the song?
Oh, I love Amy Shark.
I
Um,
interviewed her. She's very nice.
oh my God, cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I struggle to put it into words. I think the the title really just encompasses it for me. Like, if snakes can afford fast cars, I want to be a snake too, which basically is saying snake as in someone who is a bit of a bad person, maybe, because most of us see our exes as bad people. Um, but then we see them succeeding and we're like, well, why can a bad person succeed and why am I here still grieving and doing whatever I'm doing? So it's that headspace of like, if a bad person can still succeed and a liar can still fall back in love and draw in all these people, well then why am I bothering to be a good person? I'll just be a bad person too. Because yeah, I want money, I want attention, I want all these things. And if there are bad people out there getting those things, why am I bothering to be a good person, a
Uh,
good Samaritan? It's pretty rough.
it's so fucking toxic, isn't it? It's shit.
Yeah.
I hate it. No, you're absolutely right. And
I
do you think,
can't I can't help but speak the truth of what
yeah,
I'm feeling, even
particularly
though
when
it's
you're like, why am I wasting so much time thinking about someone who's probably not thinking about me? Like, it,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. But like that's just the human way of doing things.
I got to ask, where did the line "You've got a Margot for your suicide" come from?
Suicide Squad, obviously.
I hadn't, yeah. I figured that,
Oh,
yeah,
like literally. Well,
he's the
the
Joker.
last guy, yeah, I was with a guy for a bit that smoked a lot of weed and he was not well. And yeah, he moved on really quickly. And I was like, oh well, now you've got a Margot for your suicide. You've got someone else to take care of you, whatever. Like got someone else to watch him fade away. It was hard. Like don't know. I don't have a lot of experience with drugs, so I can't speak on it, but it is hard to watch for sure.
Yeah, I'm coming up in March. I'll be 5 years sober, so unfortunately I've got way too much experience with that shit, but it can be very
Okay.
hard watching someone go down the rabbit hole.
Yeah.
Uh, Mate, let's fast forward about a year. All right, so you're now a huge megastar. And Amy Shark's calling and you're like, no, I'm too cool for you. You just, Taylor Swift's trying to hit you up in the DMs, the usual. Um, so when you're, not screening Amy Shark's calls, what crazy shit are you asking for in your writer?
Oh, the rider question. I don't know.
It's fun. I haven't
Uh,
asked it in years.
oh, I think this is something that like me and my like music friends always talk about. Like, oh, what would you put on your rider? Um, uh, I would put like massive bottles of water because riders are always like 500 ml bottles of water and stuff, which is pointless because you just go through them like
Mm.
annoying. Big bottle, like 2 liter bottles of water. Um, Socks. Um, what else? What can I consume? Gluten-free bread. There was a couple of shows on the Yours Truly tour that had gluten-free bread, and when the photographer wasn't there because she was celiac, um I literally just took the bread loaves with me because they were like, no one else was gluten intolerant except me. So they were like, you can just take it. They're not going to do anything with it. So I literally got all this free bread. So yeah,
That
free bread. That's
stealing
all I
bread,
need.
that's a very, yeah, very rock star. I think that, yeah.
Obviously, bread is expensive. It's like
It
if you
is.
want to get gluten-free bread, gluten-free bread, it's like $10 for a loaf that is usually $1 for just
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
normal one. So yeah.
I noticed we're getting a lot of love on your Instagram from the lovely Josh from Banks Arcade. Uh
Mm.
I interviewed him a while ago and he actually recognized me when I was front row at his show. I believe they were supporting
Aw.
Thornhill. And
Yeah,
yeah, and he went up and we got a lovely photo with me and the rest of the band that's on my Instagram. It was like, oh, he's a lovely guy.
so cute. Yeah.
Isn't he great? And yeah, very cute. Hmm. Um,
Yeah, no, they're all very like when I say cute, I mean they're all very like girly on tour. They were very
yeah,
like easy to talk to and they didn't have that masculinity that a lot of, I guess, groups of men have. It was nice. And like I was intimidated by the fact that in all their videos and stuff, they were very serious and blah blah. And then I met them all and they were just like, oh hi, blah blah, and just like really, really cute. So yeah.
because when you see photos of him, he looks like a Russian mobster. Like he's just got the haircut and the chains and the singlets, and he looks
Yeah.
like he should be slab squatting
Yeah.
while chain smoking.
Yeah. No, he's very nice. And he would often go on like little walks by himself and stuff and just put his earphones in and he was very good at like self-care, which I respect as well.
Well, that's important, man.
Yeah.
So, obviously we are bang at the start of another year. Um, Cliche question, but always a good one. What are your plans for the rest of it?
I've got a headline show that I'm planning. We're just not locked in the date. So I'm gonna do like a small show at the Lord Gladstone. They have like a room upstairs, which is like it's kind of like an old um terrace looking thing.
Mhm.
So it's gonna be like a really cool vibe. Like people just perform on the floor. It's very grungy. It's very humble. I like it. So I'm keen for that. And I discovered this artist called Lil Pixie, who I'm getting to support me. And there's another artist called Ashan, who's like up and coming as well. So it's gonna be a really cool lineup. I'm keen for that. I love like choosing my lineups. It's honestly like such it's like my favorite part of doing my own show is getting to like hit up people and be like, oh, do you want to play for me? Do you want to like come on, my show and stuff? Because usually it's just people that I'm a fan of and I just want to see them live for free. So it's like I can just get them on my bill. But yeah, what else? I have heaps of songs that are like mixed and stuff that are ready to go, but yeah, we're just deciding what order to release them in.